this is unfortunate. After years of development hell, Jonathan Entwistle and Jenny Klein's Power Rangers series is no longer moving forward on Netflix. Now, one part of me feels like this is complete and utter bullshit, and the other half is like, the writer's strike probably affected this as well, but that's just speculation on my part. I have a tweet from Spider-Gen, he's pretty well known on Twitter, and I quote, "Due to the lack of staff and all the department's responsibilities Hasbro had to take on, they're licensing Power Ranger toys and media off to other companies. As we've seen with Playmates, who's now in full control of the toys, they are doing the same with the show's rights. Also, they are trying to be as hands-off as possible and staying on the franchise's revenue. So, good news maybe?" End quote. Well, we all seen things like this before. When a project is in development hell for a very long time, once filming starts, the product will either come out subpar or terrible. But I'm hoping that won't be the case with Power Rangers because I've been following this franchise from start to finish. Also, if I could be real about it, I feel like the reboot doesn't need to happen at all. I just feel like they need to continue on with adapting the Super Sentai. There are plenty of Super Sentai out there that has not been adapted yet that can be adapted into the Power Rangers. For example, like Lupin Ranger versus Power Ranger that could be adapted into Power Ranger Space Patrol Alpha, the precursor to Power Rangers SPD. Then we can have King Oger adapted into Power Rangers because me personally, I like the suits. Like they're very unique from what we've seen before. And Boom Onger or Boom Inger. I'm sorry if I butchered the name because I really don't watch Sentai like that. I just watch like certain clips every now and then. But this is the latest Sentai that is out right now and I heard that it's pretty good. And I feel like this could be a true follow-up to Power Rangers RPM because it has been over a decade since that season concluded. So seeing a nice follow-up with a new team in a post-Vengeance world will be interesting. But that's just wishful thinking on my part. They're still doing a reboot, but it's just going to be on a different streaming network. I also had a small theory of why Netflix pulled the plug. Now we all know that Netflix loves diversity, to the point to where it has no purpose in the overall plot of the TV show, movie, or special. And I felt like they ran into a huge wall with that with Power Rangers. Now, even though I loved Cosmic Fury, like it was more mature than the season that we got before. Well, there have been more mature seasons back then, but I felt like this was more mature than the previous seasons once it got relaunched on Nickelodeon. But the stuff I seen was like the women were more in the forefront and the guys were taking more of a back seat. However, it gave the guys more time for character development. And then the LGBTQ representation. Besides Izzy and Fern's relationship, I felt that they just plugged it in to where it was not necessary, in my opinion. I also see this pattern in other TV shows as well. For example, I saw the movie Atlas starring Jennifer Lopez. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie yet. But there was a point in the movie to where Jennifer Lopez's character made a robot, I forget her name, but as the short conversation went on, the robot states that she goes by she and her. And that was it. It was never brought back up again, to my knowledge, and I just felt that it was kind of forced in that movie. But let me go back to Power Rangers and double back to Fern and Izzy. I thought it was cool that two female Rangers actually get together, but Power Rangers still didn't go all the way there and had them kiss in the show. If you're going to have an LGBTQ relationship in a TV show, I feel like you should just go all the way, not just, half the way and just say, oh, these two females that are Power Rangers are in a relationship. That's it. Anything beyond calling each other babe or holding hands and hugging, it doesn't show anything else like kissing or anything like that. I know they're not going to have an actual sex scene or filling up each other, but I felt that the two should have kissed at least once. But here's where it gets real controversial. This is one of my buddy's opinions, not mine. He thought that Ion and Zato were going to get together because of how they was acting the entire season. Well, at least Ion was. He had a theory saying that if Ion and Zato were in a romantic relationship, the show then would have went all out for what we wanted with Fern and Izzy. Those two would have definitely lip locked. And I believe that would have been it with these two. They would have just been kissing, holding hands or whatever, but I don't think they'll be feeling each other up or gave the notion that they were having sex. But where I'm getting at with all of this is that I feel that they cannot do this in Power Rangers, or I felt like they're not going to do it with Power Rangers. So they feel like if they can't, we're just going to can the reboot altogether from their side. So now Hasbro has no choice but to go out there and fish other streaming companies. But what Power Rangers did back in the day, as far as moral dilemmas and problems that goes on within the characters, well, the Rangers that is, I feel like within character focused episodes, I felt whatever problem that the particular Ranger was facing kind of tied into the monster of the week. I felt like, in my opinion, with Netflix, is that I think that if they had a Ranger character that would have struggled with their sexuality while also tying into the monster of the week will be kind of silly to them. What I'm getting at is that I do not mind LGBTQ representation in any TV show or movie. I just feel like it needs to serve a purpose, rather than just plugging it in to pull in certain people or to not piss off certain people. But if I could be real about it, if I was part of any of these communities out here that want to be included in TV shows and movies or whatnot, I would feel that that would be kind of like a slap in the face just to get one line to just say, hey, here's your representation, now shut up. But that's all I got to say about that. So as of right now, the Power Rangers reboot will be in development hell for a little while longer than we expected. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you all next time.